Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome to today's episode of DV Live City Talk. I am Amanda Acom, the marketing coordinator for Desert Valleys Federal Credit Union. And before we jump into today's episode, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode, and make sure to share this video so your friends can join the conversation. Hello.
Hello. How are you today?
I'm doing well. We have Travis Reed on with us, who is the deputy city manager for today, for the hour.
That's today. Just one of my many roles.
Okay, that works. Yeah. Got a fun fact for us?
Ooh.
On the spot.
You always put me on the spot.
I know. You're welcome.
I gave up soda for the year, and I gave up drinking for a month, and it's been rough.
You have one day.
No.
Right?
3. I can't officially do it till February 1st, so 3 days.
Oh.
Well, 2 days. So it's been rough. We went to Supercross Saturday, and I got to see my 2 buddies there with a beer and my wife there with a beer, and I did not get to have a beer, so it was a little sad, but it's all right. I'm going to stick true it and make it.
So full disclosure, I've done a dry January also, and my husband had a michelada like a weekend ago. Maybe it was 2 weeks ago. I don't know. But I was like, can I just smell it? And he's like, you want to smell my beer?
That's what I did too. My wife goes, do you want to smell it? I'm like, I actually do want to smell it.
Okay, perfect. For those people.
Yeah.
And he was like staring at me, and I was like, do you want a pretzel too? And I was like, maybe. And so I'm sitting at Schooner smelling his like michelada and a pretzel. And I'm sure people are like, what is wrong with this lady? And then I'm sitting there eating my salad, and I was like, oh, this is a fun time. Happy New Year.
It's not quite as much fun, but I'm sticking to it, and I'm going to make it.
You know what? You can do it. I believe in you.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Soda, though? Why soda? Resolution?
Just because I got to the point where, like, all I wanted to drink was Dr. Pepper. And I'm getting to that age where I don't know that drinking a Dr. Pepper a day is going to look that good on me. So,
you're not a spring chicken?
No, I'm trying to watch my girlish figure.
Yeah, me too. But here we are. I mean, I have been only drinking black iced coffee this month too, which let me tell you, a whole new level of adultness just got unlocked.
I drink a lot of black coffee to the tune of like 2 to 4 cups a day.
So oh, okay. So we're on the same level there too.
I like black coffee. Black coffee. I've been trying to do more water.
Water's not hard. I usually drink like a gallon a day, I think.
I don't like to pee that much.
Well, I'm a mom, so there you go. But Starbucks gets me when pumpkin spice comes out, and then they made pumpkin spice foam or pumpkin foam this year. So I definitely became that person, and I got foamy and fluffy, and I was like, okay, we got to stop.
There's definitely some basic in me, so I like those too.
There we go. Hey. Okay, so we're not just going to talk about fun stuff, I guess. We're going to talk about interesting city stuff today. Right?
Yes. There's
maybe
some crazy things going on right now.
Well, maybe we'll chunk it down so we can have you back on for a few different episodes, and we'll only talk about Ward Avenue.
Okay.
Mostly because A, it affects my drive to work or my drive home. B, I don't know how to manage the cones sometimes. It's very like, do I weave? Do I bob? Who's bobbing? Who's weaving?
Just run them over.
I don't need city people yelling at me.
Well, they're not going to yell at you. It's actually technically the equivalent of hitting a pedestrian in the road. So they'll just tell you off.
Really?
Mm-hmm. If you hit a construction cone, a cop can legally pull you over and take you to jail for running a person over.
Fun fact. Why isn't that your fun fact?
I don't know. I didn't even think of it because I thought it was a fun fact about me.
You know what I want to go do now is like put little faces on each of the cones so people think that they're like people.
Yep.
Or maybe little arms.
So that's why I feel like if I ever have to talk to somebody about running through traffic control, I want to use the line that Tom Cruise as he's cruising through the cones, right? Tom Cruise used in Top Gun when he's like, give them something that their families will accept. Because you know how bad somebody would feel if they hit somebody. That's not anything anybody wants to deal with.
Yes. So. Kids don't drink and drive.
Yes.
And also don't drive when you haven't had your Starbucks and you can't figure out how to get to Starbucks because Ward Avenue is closed.
Yes.
So about that.
Yes.
Timeline. What do we got going on?
So we have 4 phases.
Okay.
It's a multi-year project. Don't worry. I'd say it's multi-year. So we're doing the first phase of it.
All I envision is that meme of that old lady's like, I'm 87 years old and Ward Avenue finally got finished.
Yep.
Okay.
So it's multiple phases. Phase 1 is what we're working on right now. It's all the sewer work that we need to do. So we're fixing all the underground stuff before we do the stuff on the surface.
Makes sense.
Because that seems to make sense because we don't want to have to go dig it up a year from now. Right after we've paved it. So phase 1 is the sewer work, and that first closure phase is going from Wayne to China Lake Boulevard.
Okay.
The second phase will go from just on the other side of Wayne, so on the west side of Wayne, to Norma.
Okay.
And then I'm going to call them phases just because that's the phases within phase 1. So, and then the next one will jump on the other side of Norma. We'll have some minor impacts on Norma because we have to put pumps and discharges and things like that because we do what's called bypasses on a sewer. So whenever you're working on a sewer main line, obviously we don't want to be handling the stuff that's coming down that. So we plug an upstream manhole and we pump out of that manhole into a manhole past us. So that way it's dry where we're working.
That makes a lot more sense and seems a little bit cleaner.
Yes. But you got to remember there's laterals that come in from people's houses or from the trailer parks. So you're always, and if we don't know exactly where those laterals are, sometimes sometimes you get to play with brown trout.
Fun.
So, but they've been doing a good job. Everlevel Holdings is who got the contract. They've been great. They've been working with us on a lot of aspects, making sure that everything's handled. We had one minor issue with a guy that was using not DoorDash, but it was one of those other ones, Meals on Wheels, and that's how we got his meals. And we're like, if you're not a resident, you're not coming in here. But he called me, talked to him, we made some arrangements, we got that handled. So So your first phase is what you see now. Your next phase will be from,
and those have the metal covers, I think, that make me always think I'm falling through something because it's all clink, clink, and I'm like,
So it's not square ones are usually a different utility. Ours are the big round ones that are out towards the middle of the road.
You square ones, I'm coming for you.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Perfect.
So we're going to do, I've already said this like 14 times, but we're going to do obviously what we're doing right now. Then the next one will be from Wayne to Norma. And then we're going to go from Norma to Sierra View.
Okay.
And then from Sierra View to Downs.
Okay.
So, and we're getting all the sewer work done. And that will encompass everything that we're paving in phase 1 and phase 2. Phase 1 is from Norma to China Lake Boulevard. That's going to get paved as soon as we finish all the sewer work. Probably, I'm going to guess we'll probably start paving sometime in April.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So
that's a lot faster than I anticipated. Full disclosure.
So we're anticipating to have it. It was I think it's a 90-day working contract, and we're already into about day 18, 19.
Okay.
So we've ran into some fun stuff, but anytime you're touching something that was put in the 50s, you never know what you're going to get.
The 50s?
Yes.
Okay.
So it was originally sewer lines that were set up when the county owned it out here.
Now, are they cast iron?
The lines are not. They're clay.
Okay.
So we're replacing them with PVC. As you get up to your larger pipes, we still use a form of clay, but they're no longer just regular clay. They're called vitrified clay. So VCP. So they're hardened clay. So they're a lot more durable and easy to work with. Not easy to work with, but a lot stouter. Like I said, my plan is any road that we get in that we do sewer work, I don't want to be back there for 50 to 100 years. So we're trying to set them up so they're they're bulletproof. So that way we don't have the brutal thing.
Huh?
Yeah.
I'm
So that way we don't have the brutal task of cutting into our brand new asphalt.
50 to 100 years. I hope neither of us are around by then.
Yes.
Especially not digging up anything.
Yes.
We should probably definitely be on a meme ourselves.
Yes. And with that, Ridgecrest, I'm sorry to tell you this, but hell is coming.
He said it. I was warned about that.
And I mean that because we are going to have to shut down China Lake Boulevard to do the next project we have coming, which is our phase 2. We have a lot of phases, if you can't tell, which is our phase 2 sewer project from our comprehensive sewer master plan.
So will that close down China Lake on this side or south of Ridgecrest Boulevard or both?
So it's going to close down China Lake from California to Ridgecrest Boulevard at some point. Then it will close down from Ridgecrest Boulevard to French. And then it will close down French to Argus. We anticipate that
You
section
just
of work.
right in the heart of the city.
Uh-huh. We anticipate that phase of work to take about 2 months. And obviously intermittent with each phase being closed, but with the location of the sewer line and some of the Caltrans standards we have to meet, there's just no way to safely do it and still have traffic there with the medians. So everybody's going to get detoured and go down Balsam.
Fun.
Yeah, it's going to
Make sure to stop at like Desert Brew and get coffee so we don't kill anybody, you guys.
Or stop at Flightline first and then go on.
Well, Flightline might not be open when I'm coming to work, but on the way home.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
There we go.
Home, yeah.
There we go. We'll probably have Travis back on to talk about that. You might see Travis a lot this year. Let's just say that.
So, well, we do have a lot. We have $15 million worth of infrastructure improvements that we're doing.
You know what? Maybe one day we'll do one on location.
Mm-hmm. We can do that.
Might be scary for me, but it's fine.
Nah, you'll be all right. We'll have to stay out of the way of the guys working because I don't want to have to pay them and them not get anything done.
I know how that goes.
So
I do have a hard hat at least here.
there you go.
So
you
it's
have a
fun.
vest?
I can probably find one.
I can get you one if you don't.
Perfect. I was like, I don't know if it goes with anything I have in my closet.
We'll make you one of my peeps in bright yellow with fluorescent other colors and reflective. And
I definitely have mostly black.
I was thinking that.
I mean, it's okay. It's fine. Everyone accepts it.
There you go.
So those are the phases.
Yes.
Now, with this all going on, when do you anticipate it actually finishing?
So
I know you said a couple of years.
Yes. So Ward Phase 1, the one we're working on right now, should be done, I'm hoping, by the end of April, unless we've had quite a few little snags and stuff that have come up just with things that we didn't know were in the ground that are in the ground from back in the day. But we've worked through a lot of those. The biggest holdup thus far has been material issues, us being able to get the material that we need
Really?
to do it. Yeah, so the suppliers that we have, a lot of like the plastic products are taking a while to get. So a lot of the pipe stuff is taking a while to get. And we don't want to open a manhole up because they're like 15, 16, 18 feet deep. And then have it plated at night because we're trying to make sure we open it back up at night so everybody doesn't have to deal with all the cones at night. But if we get a hole dug up, we don't want to have it open and have people running it over and potentially fall in the hole.
I will admit that I think it was Friday. I saw like this random Tacoma come out and they started like putting the cones up and everything. I was like, oh my gosh, are people really stealing cones right in front of me? Nope, they just put them to the side. Those guys are on it.
Yep.
Like they cleaned up so fast.
Yep. They were, was it Friday that was late day or Thursday that was a late day? I think it was Thursday was a late day because they had a collapse next to a manhole. Because that, depending on where you are in the valley, so as you work your way north from Ridgecrest Boulevard, you start to see a really, really sandy, we call it like a flowable sand area in the valley.
Okay.
And Las Flores has it at about 4 feet down. Drummond has it at about 5 feet down. And then Ward, we've seen it at about 8 feet down. And I mean, it's so flowable. Like when you dig in it, and if you've got a trench wall that's 2 feet, when you come back the next day, it will be flat with the bottom of the sand section.
Really?
Yeah, because it just flows in and goes to flat.
Wow.
And not like wet. Like it's just that fine a material. It just moves. And when it's not confined, it doesn't stay in place.
It sounds like me.
The good thing the door's closed.
Amanda in the wild.
Oh, yes, there you go. There you go.
No, literally, Anaheim. I would always run down to Anaheim and just like have lunch at Disneyland or go to a hockey game or whatever.
Well, that sounds fun.
I know.
Sounds expensive, but fun.
Yeah, I was young and wild and free and flowable sand, I guess.
There you go.
So it's fine. But, okay, so that's phase 1 is currently for people who don't know streets. I just looked them up, so I'm not that versed. Starbucks.
Yes.
Next phase will be residential.
It'll be some of the residential, so it'll be from Norma to Wayne.
Okay, so like the Heritage entrance
so
area.
that'll be the only entrance that'll actually be hindered where we'll have that hard closed. So that is Mountain View. So Mountain View will be closed down. They'll have to exit through Heritage.
Okay.
We'll still be flagging and letting people through because there's all those houses on the north side that need to be able to get to their house. And there's also the insurance company over there.
Oh, yes,
so
yes.
we'll still allow people access to get to those, but we just don't want to have to deal with all the through traffic with how deep we're digging.
Gotcha. And then phase 3 will be by Vaughn Realty, and Albertsons?
Yes, all the way to Sierra View.
And then residential again?
Yes, it'll be partly residential, so we'll have it'll be closed to through traffic. Sorry, people. So when you go to Walmart, when you're going to Albertsons, you'll have to enter off Norma for that. Mm-hmm. There'll be some minor impacts in Norma in phase 2, just because that's where we'll have to have our pumps sitting. So we'll have the left turn lane closed down onto Ward, and our pumps will be there.
Okay.
And that's really it for phase 2. And depending on where the pumps are set, you might get directed on Ward to make a left or make a right there, which you probably will because it's going to be closed at Norma. So we'll probably have a permanent closure set there for, I'm going to say, probably 3 weeks during that time.
Oof.
And then the next phase, we'll have Sierra View is where we'll have pumps. So we might just have a lane or the median taken or the 2 lanes in the middle. And Norma will be back to open because it'll just be discharge.
Okay.
And then phase 4, Downs left turn lane, coming off of Downs to turn left onto Ward to head west will be closed because that's where our pumps will be sitting. So all the people that go to, El Prado and La Paloma and all those streets off of Ward right there, they'll have to find an alternative route.
Man, just detours off of detours for you guys.
Yep.
Okay. Well, and then we're going to move into, so all of it will be sewer work first, right?
All of it's sewer work first, yes.
And then pavement.
And then then we're going to remove 2.5 to 3 inches of the road surface, repair a bunch of cracks, put a geotextile interlayer down, and then pave the road and stripe it.
So have you guys already started that on Ward that's in front of Desert Valleys? It seems like it's a little bit more gravelly, not so
No,
roady.
So that's for another project we have going. Mm-hmm. We are doing some repair work to that road, and our streets crew went in to save $225,000 and did all the grinding and the prep work. So that way the company that's coming in to do it just has to come in and put the coating down, and off they go and stripe it, and they're done.
So that's good to know. It's 2 separate projects then.
Yes.
Okay. We have had some people come in. For anyone who knows Desert Valleys or is a member, they pop in, and I have a new office right as soon as you walk in the doors. And they'll be like, do you know what's going on outside? And I'm like, road construction? Well, what's going on? And I'm like, I do not know.
Making it not quite as much gravel, a little more smooth.
So here you are to help me answer the questions.
Yeah.
Okay, so 2 different projects. And then for in front of Desert Valleys, when do you think that's going to be?
So that project
paved?
is probably going to kick off at sometime in February. But
Oh.
I don't have a comprehensive schedule yet, so I really can't tell you what order they're going to do all the streets in. That's a $1.25 million project that we're doing.
So it's different streets throughout the city.
Correct. So there's
Okay.
a bunch of streets that we're working on for that one. And then we've also got our $5 million other paving project that we're doing. So I've got a lot of irons in the fire right now.
Well, and it seems like Race Communications, Frontier, and all that are not helping.
I wouldn't say not helping, but it's pick your poison there. Yes, they're digging, and you have to deal with the inconvenience of them digging, but everybody's going to have fiber internet in the city. So
Yes. So we just moved and we bought a new house in a new location, and we just got out of Race and Frontier at the same time. And now we have Race digging up in our new home neighborhood. And I'm like, oh, perfect. It's just going to follow us everywhere.
Yep.
So as far as Ward, I know you told me before, the cutouts, the dips, the super hard dips.
Oh, yes. We're getting rid of the hard dips. So phase 1 doesn't touch the area that have the big dips. So phase 1 is just from Norma to China Lake Boulevard. Mm-hmm. But next year, we've got a Regional Surface Transportation Program. Hopefully I got that right. RSTP, yes. So we got awarded a grant.
all the acronyms with you.
Yeah, we got awarded a grant. So the grant is paying for 83% of the paving. The sewer work is coming from our wastewater enterprise fund. And then the remainder of what we have to do for the road work is coming out of our Measure V funds.
Okay.
So.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yes, so it's 3 funded. It's a little bit rough. It's been rough on my staff because this has to come from this pot and this has to come from this pot. But they're getting it.
I feel like you guys have your ducks in a row.
We've really been trying. I think it's very, very important that the people in the valley, like, actually, when we say something, we follow through and do what we're going to say.
Yes.
So we've really been trying to make a conscientious effort to not only get our message out and show what we're doing, but follow through with everything we say.
Well, and I definitely think people took notice, obviously, not only by the closures for the ward, but they're like, wow, look how fast they're actually doing something around here. And I'm like, ooh, brutal.
Yeah. The preparation for a project of that magnitude is rough. They've been working on that since before I got there. So it's been a 2-year process as far as what we're doing. But we're actually already almost done with all the street design in phase 2 of Ward, which is the Norma to Downs. Mm-hmm. And that's the one that everybody's going to see a ton of changes on that road because we're reprofiling Norma. We're probably going to have to go out on Norma about 200 feet to reprofile the intersection because our intent is when you drive down that road, if it's green, I want you to be able to go the speed limit through the intersection instead of having to slow down so it doesn't throw everything in the back of your car around or throw everything that's in the back of your truck out on the road.
That's a good way to like safety belt check your kids, though.
It is. But if you're good mom, which I think you are, you probably have already done that and you don't need your cars getting whipped around when you drive through the intersection.
I'm also very cautious. So that's just me, though.
Some people are not. I get calls quite frequently about how bad the dip is at Drummond and Norma and Sierra View. So we're going to try to handle all those.
Okay. So will that include, I'm assuming, is it, I don't know, for lack of a better term, shaving down the road?
Yeah.
The dip or filling it?
We call it reprofiling.
Okay.
So we've rerouted the water in some places and set inlets up and done certain things. So that way, rather than having those dips to help facilitate water going across the road, we can house and capture the water and then make the intersection flat.
And I assume none of those areas are flood zones, right? Like, at the end of the hospital little hill.
So flood zone for me has a little bit different meaning, but standing water, no, we don't really see too much standing water there. And we, like I said, I don't understand why it was done that way in the first place, especially since there's inlets on both sides of Norma. But needless to say, we just want to make sure that we're actually fixing it in a way that we need it to be fixed so people don't have to deal with the big bumps anymore.
Well, I know for me, and probably a good majority of residents, we're just excited when it will be done and to see it all completed.
Yes, it'll be just as pretty as Downs is.
Okay.
So
there we go.
I thought Downs came out really good, and both of these ward projects have comprehensive concrete work that goes with them. So all the cross gutters are getting replaced. All the curb ramps are going to get made ADA compliant. So we're doing quite a bit of work. And
That's
we're
awesome.
fixing under parkway drains. Lots of curb and gutter that's sagged is getting removed and replaced. So
if anyone has any questions or safety concerns, who can they reach out to?
Myself. So my name is plastered all over the website. My email is treed with 2 E's at Ridgecrest. I always want to say dash, but it's hyphen, I guess. ca.gov. And my number is 760-499-5081. And that goes direct to me.
There you go, everybody. You have a direct line. Just because I know some people, especially the safety concerns, that's a big one. So, but we'll see. Don't run over cones.
No, don't run over cones. And we do have an on-site inspector there. Every hour they're working. So if you find an issue, you can always find the white Toyota Wildan truck and you can go tell him you're concerned and he'll get a hold of me and we can do whatever we need to do to help handle it.
Well, thank you so much for being on today and giving us the update on Just Ward.
Just Ward.
Just Ward.
Kind of, except the whole hell is coming thing.
Shh. It's kind of like, what was that show? Game of Thrones?
Yes.
Winter is coming?
Yes, winter is coming and I guess that's might be the more PG way to say it, but it's going to be a little rough when we do that section.
We'll put a disclaimer on this one that's like, adult. PG-13.
Yeah, there you go.
Not PG.
Yes.
Well, thank you again for being here, and we'll have you back on soon, I'm sure,
Absolutely.
to talk about many other things with your many other hats.
Yes, in any time.
And everyone else, make sure you tune into City of Ridgecrest's YouTube page for the City Council meeting at 6 p.m. tonight. Thanks for tuning in. Bye, guys.